Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are going to cover Canto 7, 8, and 9. The seventh canto is entitled The Science of God, which actually teaches us the purpose of human form of life and also teaches us how to overcome the different modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Now, in this particular canto, there is a story of Jai and Vijay. There are two brothers. What was that? So Jai and Vijay were the doorkeepers of Vishnu Loka, and they actually did not allow the four Kumaras, those little boys, to enter and visit Lord Vishnu. And so the four Kumaras cursed these two brothers to take birth as devotees for 7 births or as an enemy of Krishna for 3 births, and they chose the 3 births. So it is mentioned in this canto that Jai and Vijay in Satya Yuga, they were born as Hiranyaksha, who was killed by Lord Vishnu as Varahadev, the boar incarnation, and Hiranyakashipu was killed by Lord Nrsimhadev. Now in Treta Yuga, Lord Ramachandra killed these 2 brothers who were born as Ravana and Kumbhakaran. In Dwapar Yuga, they were born as Shishupal and Dantavakra. Now, Shishupal, as I was talking about this, was born with 3 eyes and 4 hands. And as soon as the child landed on the lap of Krishna, his 1 eye and 2 hands fell off. And that's when the mother came to know that he is going to kill my son. So she begged for a benediction from Krishna. And Krishna said, I am going to pardon him for 100 times. The moment he crosses that limit and, blasphemes me 101 times, I'm going to kill him. And he continued to blaspheme. He was very, very proud. He continued. And then in the Rajasuya sacrifice of Yudhishthira Maharaj, you all must have heard about Pandavas, right? The 5 brothers, pious, huh? I heard it. Yes, yes. So the oldest brother Yudhishthir, he had arranged a Rajasuya sacrifice where Krishna was appointed as the, like you have, VIP or guest of honor in that sacrifice. But Shishupal didn't like that. Because he was very envious of Krishna, so he started blaspheming, and Krishna was counting 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, and boom, after that, the Sudarshan Chakra immediately chopped off the head of Shishupal. And everybody could see that the soul from the body of Shishupal went and merged into the body of Krishna. Now, this was a benediction, and because the moment Sudarshan Chakra hit the body of Shishupal, the whole body became pure. And so he was eligible for liberation. Now, there's a very nice story about Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu wanted to be God. He wanted to control the entire creation. And he thought that if I worship Lord Brahma, he will give me that benediction. Because it's very easy to get benediction from Lord Brahma. So what he did, he performed austerities for thousands of years. How? He went to a place called Mandarachala Mountain. And there he stood on his toes, looking up with his arms raised up there. Can we do that? We can't even stand on our toes because it's going to really hurt. For thousands of years, he did that. And because he did that severe austerity, Lord Brahma was very pleased. And he came and he said, what do you want? So he said, I don't want to die ever. Brahma said, sorry, I also have to die, so I cannot give you that benediction. So he started thinking, well, I performed such severe austerities, I must get some benefit. So he thought, I will find the loophole. And what was that? He said, I should not be killed by an animal or a human. I should not be killed by any weapon, neither in the morning or in the daytime or nighttime, neither inside nor outside. So he was covering all the grounds, so that no one can kill him. And Lord Brahma said, Tathastu, okay, I give you this benediction. And now he became very proud that he is the controller of the creation. And so when he had gone to perform austerities, his wife Kayadhu was already pregnant, and she did not want to give birth to the child till her husband came back. Imagine being pregnant for thousands of years. That is painful, but she did not want to. So she went under the care of Narad Muni, great sage Narad Muni. And Narad Muni was teaching Bhakti Yoga to Kayadhu every day. And who was inside the womb of Kayadhu? Prahlad Maharaj. And he was hearing the whole Krishna Katha every day. So he became a pure devotee even before he took birth. So when he was born, he always chanted Lord Vishnu's name. He was all the time just chanting Narayan, Narayan, Vishnu, Vishnu. And that father didn't like it all, because father hated Vishnu. And here the son is chanting Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. So he was very upset and he decided to kill his son. So what he did, he put him in hot boiling oil, threw him from a mountain, tried to drown him in the ocean. What else? Snake, poisonous snakes, huh? Elephant, yes, to yes, exactly. That is called Holika. Yes. Put him, with Holika in fire. Of course, Holika got burnt, but nothing happened to Prahlad Maharaj. Why? Because he was chanting the holy names of the Lord. He got protection from the Supreme Lord. So when he was in the womb, he heard Krishna Katha very carefully. And that is why at the age of 5, he was able to explain this process of Bhakti Yoga to his classmates in the school. 5-year-olds, they all, instead of going out to play or anything, they were just listening to Prahlad. And this upset Hiranyakashipu more. And then he asked Prahlad Maharaj, what makes you so fearless? He said, my Lord. He's always, if you remember in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Name Bhaktya Pranashyati, that my devotee never perishes. Never perishes means never. There's full protection. And so he was confident. So Hiranyakashipu said, oh, where is your God? He said, he's everywhere. Is he in this pillar? Yes, he's in the pillar. So he tried to break the pillar, and out came Lord Nrsimhadev. Now, to fulfill the benediction given by Lord Brahma, Nrsimhadev was neither animal nor human. He was half man, half lion. And he did not come with any weapons. He used his nails. What are they called? Huh? Yes, he ripped him apart, and that was the first open heart surgery ever. That was the first one. And we learned the open heart surgery from Lord Nrsimhadev. And it was neither inside nor outside. It was on, between the door. What is that called? Threshold. Yes, on the threshold. And was on the neither down, up, in the air, nothing, on the lap of Lord Nrsimhadev, and ripped him apart. This is how Hiranyakashipu died. So we may try to find loopholes, but God always has a way. Krishna has a way to also find a way through that. So this is how the two brothers who were killed by Lord Nrsimhadev and Varahadev in Treta Yuga. Now in Dwapar Yuga, Shishupal and Dantavakra. And also in when Prahlad Maharaj was teaching his friends in the school, he taught them the difference between body and soul. A 5-year-old is talking about that little boys, you are not this body, you are the spirit soul. And everyone was so mesmerized by that knowledge that they all left all the schoolwork, homework, everything, and they just sat down. And what were they teaching in that school? Sanda and Amarka were the teachers of Hiranyakashipu who were teaching in that Gurukul, and they were teaching how to be very angry, how to kill others, how to be envious, how to get a lot of money. This is all that, because this is what demons do, this is what they learn. But here Prahlad Maharaj was teaching them the difference between body and soul, that there are two bodies. One is the gross body and one is the subtle body. We covered this, I think, on day 1 or day 2. I've also forgotten which day it was. Yes, so that there is this gross body that we can see, and the subtle body, which is made of mind, intelligence, and false ego. This little boy is teaching all that, and he's telling his friends that if you chant the holy names of the Lord,
22 p.m.
who is doing that? Anyway, that's okay. It's just reminding us what time it is.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It has never happened before.
5:22 p.m.
Does anyone know how to fix that? 5:22 p.m. I know it is 5:22. Siri. Oh, so I don't know how to use Siri. How? How do you do that?
These are communication centers.
Yes. I am not sure from where the sound is coming
From your phone.
From my phone?
It could be it.
But it is on Do Not Disturb, so it should not do that, right? It couldn't be from the computer, right?
It can be it.
Oh, it
But I
can
think
be.
it sounds like it's coming from your phone. Siri? 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 Seems like it's turned off.
Yeah, it is turned off. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, we'll try it.
We'll try. It'll just keep reminding us what time to stop talking. Yes. Yes.
The person that comes every day visits me with a instrument at a very convenient time of 2 a.m.
2 a.m.
I have to do like this at 3 a.m. and I have to do like this at 4 a.m. And I still don't know
How to fix it?
I know who that is.
Who that is?
Should I tell the name?
Yes.
Miss Shivani Brahmakumari.
Oh, okay.
Voice message.
Okay. Reminding you about what?
I don't know.
Every hour. Maybe one of your nephews or nieces can fix that.
Somebody has fixed the problem. I know that.
Oh,
In the
okay.
next 24 hours.
Okay, okay. I need to get my grandson to fix this. This has never happened before. Anyway, where were we? Before we got distracted, where were we? Yes, Hiranyakashipu, yes. So Prahlad, huh? Oh, that is true. We are in global mall. That is true. Yeah, yeah. Yes, we are in global mall. And thanks to Geeta for letting us use the center for Krishna Katha. We are hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Today is day 3. So Prahlad Maharaj, he was explaining to these little boys that if we chant the holy names of the Lord and if we remember him, then we will get full protection from the Lord, because he is situated in everyone's heart as the super soul whom we call Paramatma. And he talked to them about the real problem of life. Do we know what's the real problem in life? We have too many, right? We have too many problems to list, but the topmost problem is the cycle of birth and death, which we are repeating again and again and again. So Prahlad Maharaj is teaching his friends that the real problem is repetition of birth and death. So he said, now that we have the opportunity because of our piety from previous life, we are hearing about the holy name, we should take this opportunity very seriously. He even explained that we need to fill up our spiritual bank balance. Did you know that? Spiritual bank, we have material bank balance. I don't know, maybe Bank of America or SunTrust or Truist or wherever, we have an account. But what about spiritual bank balance? Prahlad Maharaj is telling his friends, we need to fill up that spiritual bank balance. There was a man, he made a plan that he is going to retire at the age of 70. And he made a plan that till he retires, he will do 2 jobs and he will use a paycheck of 1 job for his, maintenance, and one whole paycheck he's going to put it in savings. And he kept doing this for year after year after year. Then came the time for retirement, and he was excited. Now he said, I don't have to work anymore, and I have a special bank balance, the savings, that is going to help me for the rest of my life. So he went to the bank to check his balance. Now, in those days, there was no smartphone, there were no laptops or anything where you can, go online and check your balance. Here on the phone, we can check. So when he went to the bank and wanted to know his balance, what do you think was his balance? A guess. Guesswork. Huh? Someone said something. Zero. It was zero. He was shocked. How is that possible? He told the cashier, I come, you see my face every time. I come every 15 days to give my paycheck in the savings. How is that possible? He was putting money in the wrong bank account. Someone else was getting rich. Some guy, he didn't even know where it was going. Some bank account. It just went there. So we have to make sure we don't put our piety in the wrong place. That whatever pious activities we do, we are building up our spiritual bank balance, because when we leave this body, American Express is not going to come with us. Our bank account is not going to come with us. It'll be only our spiritual bank balance which will come with us in the next life. And today we are sitting here not because I met Seema. Is that what you think? I met you in temple and that's how we have this program? No. It is because of our piety that we were meant to meet in the temple on a particular day. Why did you have to come on that day, right? And it is because of that we all have got this opportunity to hear the nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam. So it is not by chance. So now that we have this opportunity, what should we do? So in this particular Canto number 7, there is a very nice story of Gajendra Moksha. Have you heard about Gajendra? The elephant who was liberated by Lord Vishnu. When I was living in Mumbai, my neighbor came rushing to my house one day. I used to have this Bhagavatam Katha in the house. So she came running and she said, my mother-in-law is very sick and it looks like that she might leave anytime. So can you please come with Bhagavatam and read Gajendra Moksha for her? It is said that if you hear Gajendra Moksha, the whole Katha of Gajendra Moksha, at the last moment, you get liberated. So I went there and I read the whole Gajendra Moksha. Who is Gajendra? He is King Indradyumna. King Indradyumna was a very pious king. And when he grew old, he decided to give up his kingdom and he went to Malaya mountain to sit down and meditate. Now in that yuga, process was meditation. So when he was meditating, he was totally engrossed in thinking about the Lord. And at that time, there was a Muni, Agastya Muni, who was passing by, and he expected the king to give him respect because he's a sage. But because the king was so absorbed in meditation, he didn't notice the Muni. And the Muni got upset, angry, and cursed him to become an elephant. And he's the one who came down as Gajendra. Now, because he had performed so much devotional service that he remembered who he was before. But still, being an elephant, he was enjoying with his wife and children, sporting in the water and everything and having fun. And at that time, Gajendra's leg, the leg is so big, so not big, what is it called? Huh? Wide, it's wide and strong and big. The crocodile caught hold of one leg of Gajendra. Now, the crocodile is the entity of the water. So, crocodile is very strong in the water, but Gajendra is not because he's an elephant. He's of the land. So, he tried and tried and tried to release himself, but he was not able to release himself. What happens when we are in distress? Who do we remember? Bhagwan, right? We remember the Supreme Lord. So he remembered those prayers that he used to chant as King Indradumna, and he started offering those prayers to Lord Vishnu with devotion, with heart, with sincerity, meditating, and sincerely praying to the Lord to please come and help, because now I have no more energy to save myself. Now, who was this crocodile? It is said this crocodile was Huhu. His name was Huhu, and he was in the Gandharva Loka. He was a Gandharva, and he was one time in the water with some ladies, and there was Devala Muni, a rishi, and he tried to pull his leg. And then so he was also cursed. He was cursed to become a crocodile. And so now both of them being cursed, they are waiting for the Lord to come and liberate both of them. And sure enough, Lord Vishnu came down, and with the Sudarshan Chakra, he chopped off the head of the crocodile, who immediately took on the body of a Gandharva. Gandharvas are very beautiful, very, very beautiful and opulent. And he offered obeisances and he went back to Gandharva Loka. And Gajendra also got moksha, got liberation with the help, with the mercy of Lord Vishnu, and he also went back to the spiritual world. Now, this seventh canto, seventh, eighth, and ninth cantos, they have so many stories, so many pastimes. But the main thing to understand is, what do we learn from these stories, right? What do you think we could learn from Gajendra Moksha? I'm just making it interactive so that we all are. Oh, yes?
What did we learn from the Gajendra Moksha?
The elephant, right? Who was liberated by Lord Vishnu.
To remember God when you're in distress.
Even otherwise, yes. Especially when you're in distress. Yes. Especially in distress, yes. Yes. But we should try and remember. And so another thing we learn from Gajendra Moksha is that whatever bhakti we perform, whatever devotional service we perform, it never goes waste. Because he remembered, even in his next life, he remembered. Even King Indradumna, he remembered, right? And even the crocodile, he also remembered. So this is what we learn from that. In this canto, there is story of Bali Maharaj, who was actually a pure devotee. Even though he was born in a demon family, he was a pure devotee of the Lord, and he was protected by the Supreme Lord also. Now, Bali Maharaj respected the Brahmanas a lot. And one time, Lord Vishnu incarnated as Vamanadev and came to Bali Maharaj's kingdom. When a Brahmana comes to the house and begs charity, we must give that charity. This is what the Vedas say. So Bali Maharaj asked the Brahmana, what do you want? And he said, I want 3 basins of land, just 3. And Vamanadev was dwarf-like, like a small child, small, height. So Bali Maharaj thought, little feet, 3 steps, how much will he cover, right? He said, yeah, sure, I'll give it to you. But what did Vamanadev do? With his one pace, he covered the entire earthly planet. With the second, the upper planetary systems, everything was covered. So he asked Bali Maharaj, where do I keep my third step? You have no other place. And because he could not fulfill, the Supreme Lord sent him down to Patalo, Sutala Lok, and told him that you are a pure devotee, I will be your doorkeeper and I will protect your kingdom over there. Of course, Bali Maharaj then gave his head. He said, you can keep your third step on my head, which is complete surrender to the Supreme Lord. So this is how Bali Maharaj was delivered by Lord Vishnu. Of course, a pure devotee of the Lord. In the 8th canto, there is Krishna's incarnation as Matsya avatar. Do you know what's a Matsya? Fish, yes, fish incarnation. So there was a demon named Hayagriva, and Hayagriva, while Lord Brahma was asleep with his mouth open, he was chanting the Vedas. Hayagriva stole all the Vedas from Brahma's mouth. They could do that, mystic power. They could do that, stole all the Vedas. So the Lord had to take Matsya incarnation so that he could kill Hayagriva and retrieve the Vedas from this. So there was a king called Satyavrata. One time, of course, he was also a pure devotee. So he was performing austerities and he went to Kritamala river. And as he was taking little water and offering oblations, he noticed a fish came on his hand. He didn't want the fish, so he threw the fish back in the water. And the fish said, what are you doing? You're a king. Please protect me. All these aquatics are going to kill me. You have to protect me. I'm a citizen of your kingdom. So again, he took that fish and brought the fish and put that fish in a small, bowl, in a bowl of water. Within few seconds, the fish started growing. Couldn't fit inside that little bowl. So then when the fish expanded, then he put in the water jug, again expanded. Then he took to the well, again expanded. Took the fish into the lake, expanded. Took the fish to the ocean, expanded. Now this king was bewildered. What's wrong? Who are you? And he realized this is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Lord. And he told him, prayed to him, offered him obeisances, and asked him, what do you want? What is your purpose? And at that time, this Matsya avatar said that I am going to, within a week, there's going to be an inundation, there's going to be destruction. Everything is going to be covered with water. All the 3 worlds are going to submerge in the water. And he told the king, I will protect you and I will protect everybody. Only thing is, there are certain things you need to do. He said that I'm going to send a boat. I'll send the boat. And also, I'm going to take that big serpent Vasuki. Vasuki will be tied on my, fish has a little horn, he said. I'll be tied on that with Vasuki and to the boat. And I'm going to pull the boat. What you have to do, you have to take all the Vedas and put them in the boat. And not only that, you have to take all the rishis, make them sit in the boat, all the herbs, everything, and I'm going to pull. And this is how Lord Matsya, the avatar of Matsya, he killed Hayagriva and he saved the Vedas. Yes, the Vedas are very, very, very important for us because they are manuals for human form of life. Just like when we buy a gadget, we buy a car, along with comes the owner's manual, right? How to operate. So similarly, these Vedas, they are our owner's manual for this human form of life, how to live this human form of life. I remember one day my husband got a call from my son's friend, and both were working, and the friend was very disturbed and was agitated. And he said, Uncle, I made a mistake. Well, what is it? My husband thought, oh, what has he done? Did he beat someone up, or what did he do? What's wrong? He said, I'm at the gas station, and by mistake, I put diesel in my car. Now, what do I do? Because my car is not working. Naturally, because that car is designed for, yeah, what is it called?
Unleaded.
Unleaded, exactly. But if you put diesel, it's not going to work. Similarly, this human form of body is meant to, intake, to take, like eat things that are meant for this body. If we put diesel in, well, we don't put diesel in the body. But it's just an example to understand that these Vedas are the owner's manual that teach us how to live this human form of life. So the king, Satyavrata, he was very, very happy to have darshan of the Lord in the Matsya avatar, to see that fish incarnation. And he learned how to perform bhakti yoga. He was able to understand the purpose of human form of life. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna gives us knowledge in chapter 4. He says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavam aham avyayam. That I gave this knowledge to sun god Vivaswan 120 million years ago. Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshu vidu. So this knowledge has come down in strict parampara, strict disciplic succession, and this is how we should accept this knowledge. And this is what the Vedas also tell us, that this knowledge came from Krishna to Brahma, Brahma to Narada, Narada to Vyasadeva. And Vyasadeva is the one who has written the Vedas, right? In the 8th canto, there is a pastime of Lord Shiva drinking poison. How many of you heard that? Yes, right? That when the churning of the ocean, yes, when the churning of the ocean took place, Lord Vishnu took the avatar of Kurma, and the mountain was on the back of Kurma, the tortoise, and with Vasuki, they were churning, and out came nectar, out came Dhanvantari, out came Lakshmi Devi. So like that, out came poison. And everyone was wondering who is going to drink this poison. And then Lord Shiva was requested to take that poison, and he drank, and it just stayed in his neck. And that's why he has a blue neck, because of that poison. But it is said that a few drops of that poison fell on the ground. And that is how we have those scorpions, and who else they bite and they're poisonous? Snakes, scorpions. This is how they came into being, because of that few drops. But they talk very nicely about churning, and of course Mohini Murti that tried to take the nectar and distribute it to the devatas. But then there was also Rahu and Ketu who were able to drink a little bit also. So this canto talks about a very, very, very pure devotee of the Lord called Ambarish Maharaj. What is his name? Have you heard about Ambarish Maharaj? No, okay, I'll let you know about that. Ambarish Maharaj was the one who was totally dedicated to the Lord, which means he used his eyes to see the form of the Lord, the picture, the murti. With his ears, he would hear Krishna Katha. With the nose, he would smell the incense offered to the Lord. With his hands, he would clean the temple. With legs, he would go to the everything. All his senses were involved in serving the Lord. And at the same time, he was a king. And he was considered a Raja Rishi. Raja means king, and Rishi means a sage. That means he was doing both. Materially, he was taking care of everybody, and spiritually also. So one time he observed Ekadashi. Have you heard about Ekadashi? Yeah, right? We fast on Ekadashi. We don't eat grains and beans on that day. So after Ekadashi, the very next day is very important. That is called Dwadashi. And one needs to break the fast of Ekadashi on a certain time period. At that time, an angry rishi walked in, Durvasa Muni. He used to get angry very quickly. I was thinking, how can rishis get angry? Right? Rishi means someone who is, knowledgeable, has, huh? Yes, they meditate, they do so much bhakti. How can they get angry? So Durvasa Muni came and Amarish Maharaj offered him, with respect, that let me offer you some prasad to eat because it's time to break the fast. He said, no, I want to go to the holy river. I need to, take a dip. I'll come back and then we'll break the fast. Now Durvasa Muni took a long time to bathe. And by the time that time to break the fast was going away, we have to break. So Amarish Maharaj inquired from his ministers and the sages who were there, what should I do? So they suggested you take a drop of water and you break the fast. Because he had done nirjala. Nirjala means without any water. The moment he took a drop of water, Durvasa Muni, being a mystic yogi, came to know that this man broke his fast without me being present, without giving me respect, without first letting me break the fast. How dare he do that?
5:47 p.m.
Okay. So Durvasa Muni came in a very angry mood. From his head, he plucked a piece of hair and created a demon. That demon, a fury demon, to go and kill Amarish Maharaj. But Lord Vishnu, watching everything, sent his Sudarshan Chakra and killed that demon. Now, guess what? After killing the demon, the Sudarshan Chakra went after Durvasa Muni because he had offended a devotee of the Lord unnecessarily. So Durvasa Muni started running. He's running. Sudarshan Chakra is after him. He's running, running, running. He went everywhere. He could not save himself. He went to Brahma Loka. He went to Shiva Loka. He went to Vishnu Loka. Lord Vishnu said, I cannot save you. I have already sent the Sudarshan Chakra. It's going to do its job and come back. But there is a way. If you go back to my pure devotee, Ambarish Maharaj, and beg forgiveness, then my Sudarshan Chakra will come back. So he came back to Ambarish Maharaj, begged forgiveness, and that's when he was saved. So that makes us understand that if we offend the Supreme Lord, he doesn't mind so much. But if we offend the devotee of the Lord, no one can save. So that Sudarshan Chakra could not be stopped until and unless Ambarish Maharaj forgave him. So here in this canto, we also hear about the pastime of Saubhari Muni. Saubhari Muni was a powerful sage. He decided to go in the water, in the ocean, and perform austerities. He was so powerful. He could be in the water. Like yesterday, I was saying we go swimming and we want to, there is a way to swim, right? You take your head out, you breathe, and then you go back in. Isn't that, what is that called? Stroke or something? Every stroke, exactly. Every stroke, you need to put your head out of water so you can breathe and then go back in the water, because you can't breathe in the water unless you have, what is that called? Snorkeling equipment, exactly. Then, okay, yes, you can. So, but he was so powerful, he could be inside the water for a very long time and meditate. Unfortunately, one time he opened his eyes And when he opened his eyes, he saw that two fishes were mating. And immediately he had a desire that he wants to get married. So he came out of the ocean from the water and he went to, there is a king, I forget, King Mandhata. He went, whose wife was Bindumati, who had 3 sons and 50 daughters. He went and he said, I want to marry your daughter. Now, this Saburi Muni was very old. You know, when you grow old, as you can see on my face, there are wrinkles, gray hair, body is weak, and what is called slouching? Is it called slouching? Yeah, slouching, is that what it's called? Yeah. So the king looked at this Muni like, which daughter of mine is going to marry him? He said, well, if any of my daughter wishes to marry you, fine. I mean, they have to decide. And they didn't want to even see him because he's an old man. So then Saburi Muni said, I think I need to change my outlook. I need to change how I look. So with his mystic power, he became young and beautiful, handsome, and he went back. When he went back, all 50 wanted to marry him. All 50 daughters. They started fighting. They all want, and he got married to all 50 of them. Now, because he was a mystic yogi, he was able to produce beautiful palaces for them, all the facilities and the comforts and, lakes and gardens and everything so that they could enjoy. After they enjoyed for a very long time, of course, the sisters used to quarrel a lot because each one wanted Sauburi for themselves, but there were 50 of them. And it seems he had 100 sons from each. He had a lot of free time. So what's the total? Yes, 5,000 children. Oh my God, 5,000 children. And still he was not satisfied. They enjoyed and enjoyed and enjoyed. And then one day he realized, what am I doing? I was a Muni. I was performing austerities in the water. I was so powerful. How did I get so entangled that, I have completely forgotten about the Supreme Lord? And so he went to the forest. He decided he's going to the forest, which is called renunciation, become a sannyasi, and just the remaining part of his life, just meditate on the Supreme Lord. His wives also followed him to the forest, and that's called Vanaprastha ashram, right? In the scriptures, there is Varnashrama system where the boy is unmarried till the age of 25. That's called Brahmachari ashram. Then gets married for another 25 years till the age of 50. That's called Grahastha ashram, married life. And then goes to the forest. Don't get scared. At the age of 50, retire and go to the forest. This was in those days they followed. I don't know if anybody follows it now, but at the age of 50, go to the forest, and that's called Vanaprastha. And at the age of 75, take sannyas till you leave the body. This is how Varnashrama system worked in olden days. So he and his wives also followed, and they went to the forest. And after a long time, he was able to become pure again. And he started contemplating, what was the reason for my downfall? How did I, being such a great Muni, fall down? How did I come to this stage? And he realized he had offended a devotee of the Lord. Remember, I talked about this. Offending a devotee of the Lord is a dangerous thing. Like anybody who's chanting the holy names of the Lord, hearing Krishna Katha, speaking Krishna Katha, singing bhajans, they are all reading Bhagavad Gita, they are all considered devotees. So if he offend a devotee, Krishna does not pardon. And he had offended Garuda. Do you know who's Garuda? Carrier of Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu sits on Garuda and he travels everywhere. So he had offended Garuda, pure devotee of the Lord. And he realized, and so finally he was able to liberate himself, and his wives also got liberated because he was able to liberate all of them. This is the end of Saubari Muni's life. So from this, we can learn that no matter how many opulences we have, no matter how many possessions we have, no matter what a beautiful body we have, no matter how famous we are, everything is temporary. How many of you have heard about Nargis, Dilip Kumar, Raj Kapoor, Steve Jobs? Have you heard about all of them? Does anyone remember them anymore? Sometimes, right? We don't meditate on them every day. I don't know when last I thought about Raj Kapoor. I don't even know. Who else? Nargis, I've never thought of her except now, right? Steve Jobs, maybe when he, passed away at that time. So they all become historical, just names. Like yesterday, we were talking about Alexander the Great, conquered the whole world, but now no one really talks about him. So this teaches us that happiness is temporary, all these opulences are temporary, and instead we should try and focus on spirituality also. Then this ninth canto talks about Lord Ramachandra. Whose son was Lord Ramachandra? Dasharath. Do you know who wrote the Ramayana? Valmiki. Did you know who he was before he became Valmiki? Yes, he was a dacoit, Ratnakar. He used to steal people, he used to steal their belongings and, trouble them. And that was very sinful. But he met his guru, Narad Muni, who brought him on the right path and became so pure that he wrote Ramayana. How? Just by associating with the pure devotee of the Lord, Narad Muni. It is said in the scriptures, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Kai, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. That even a moment's association with a sadhu, with a pure devotee of the Lord, one can get siddhi, one can get complete liberation just by a moment. You know what is a moment? It is less than a second also. Just that split moment, just by associating with the sadhu, one can get liberation. So here, Lord Ramachandra, he was taken by Vishwamitra when he was a young boy into the forest to kill some demons. And there he was taken to the, where was Sita living? Mithila. So Vishwamitra took Ram and Lakshman to Mithila because there was going to be a swayamvar of Sita. Anyone who broke that bow of Lord Shiva will get to marry Sita. And that's where Lord Ramachandra broke that, I don't know what is called, huh? String it, yes. Anyone who was able to string that bow will get to marry Sita. And of course, Sita is none other than Lakshmi Devi, and Lord Ramachandra is Vishnu himself. So this is how he got married to the goddess of fortune. And unfortunately or fortunately, he was asked to go to the forest for 12 years. Thank you. I wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure no one is sleeping with eyes open. Yes, for 14 years, he was sent to the forest. And there was, of course, also he, gave up his royal life, position of a king. And that's where he killed Ravan. What did Ravan do that he was killed by Lord Ramachandra? He what? He did bad. What was a bad thing he did? Yes, he kidnapped Sita, goddess of fortune, and took her to Lanka in Ashok Vatika. Right? Of course, he had a curse also that he could not go near Sita. He could not touch her. He had that curse, but he kept her in Ashok Vatika for 1 year. as you can call it, as a prisoner. He wouldn't let her go anywhere. But because he tried to, he had that desire to enjoy Sita. That is why he was killed by Lord Ramachandra. In the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that lust is the biggest enemy of a human being. And he also explains to Arjuna, where does the lust sit? Does anyone know where are the sitting places of lust in the body? He says senses, mind, and intelligence. So Arjuna's question is, how can one control? So Krishna says, by constant practice and detachment. And practice of what? Chanting the holy names of the Lord. This is how one can control these desires. Of course, Ravana wanted to build a staircase to heaven. That is not possible. But he thought he could, because he also, like Hiranyakashipu, thought was the controller of this entire creation, that he was the supreme Lord. That is what he thought. But that is not the fact. And one time he went to his brother's little cottage that he had built, and he noticed that his brother Vibhishan, have you heard about Vibhishan, right? Brother of Ravana, not Lord Ravana, Ravana, not Lord Ravana, Ravana. And on the walls he saw names of Ram written everywhere. Ram, 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 Ram. Ravana got very angry. He said, how dare you put my enemy's name all over on the walls? So Vibhishan thought of a strategy and he said, oh, no, this is not that Ram. No. This Ram means Ravan, and Ma means Mandodari, your wife. That is Rama. That is what I put your names over here. Ravan was so happy. Oh, you're remembering me and my wife? Then he ordered all the houses, all the walls, put Ram, 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 Ram everywhere. This is how all the residents of Lanka got the benefit of chanting the names of Lord Ramachandra. And they thought they were chanting Ravan and Mandodari's name. This is how smart the devotees of the Lord are. So from this, we understand that even though Ravana was very opulent, Lanka, it is called Soneki Lanka, right? Which means full of gold, like built with gold. And still, there was an end to Ravana's kingdom. It did come to an end. Why? Because of lust, because of greed, because of anger, because of envy. He was envious of the Supreme Lord. This is how it was. There was his downfall, complete downfall. In this particular canto, Shukadev Goswami is explaining to Parikshit Maharaj, and of course Sutta Goswami explaining to the sages at Naimisharanya, that Lord Ramachandra is not just a story. Many times people think that Ramayana is a myth, right? Mahabharata is a myth. Have you heard about that? Many times people say, oh, it is just a story which is given in your history. It is not anything true. No. But from this Ramayana, we can understand, Shukadev Goswami explains that Lord Ramachandra was an ideal king, ideal son, ideal husband, ideal brother, and ideal human being. And the purpose of him coming down in Treta Yuga was to teach us that, how to be an ideal human being. So this is how we learn from all these pastimes in Canto 7, 8, and 9 on how it is important to perform Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti means devotion, and yoga means to connect with the Supreme Lord. In the 10th canto, which we will learn tomorrow, this is full of stories like Krishna. How did he appear on this earthly planet? How, Krishna was one time when he was a little baby, very small, he had just learned to walk. How old are children when they learn to walk? 1 or 2, something like that, 1 and 2 years old. He had just learned to walk, and he heard that outside there was a lady who was loudly saying, uh, fruit lelo, was a fruit vendor, was selling fruits, and she had a basket with fruits in them. And then she was going from one place to another. First, she was in Mathura, and in Mathura, she was thinking, well, it is a place where Kamsa lives. It's very opulent. Everyone is rich. Like, no one will buy my fruits. Where should I go? Then someone told him, why don't you go to Vrindavan, to Gokul? That is a place where you will get good business. So when she came to Gokul, she was told that if you go to this particular house, you'll get some business. Now, in those days, there was barter system. What is barter system? Trade, right? I give you something, you give me something. So there is trade. There's no cash involved, no American Express card, no swiping, nothing. It's just I give you something, you give me something, whatever we like. So here, this fruit vendor, she was loudly, and Krishna knew that, this lady is has a very good heart. So he, with his little, what you call, his little feet, Mother Yashoda used to put ankle bells. So, chum, 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 he went to the fruit vendor and said, I want fruits. She said, I can't give you fruits. You have to give me something in return, right? It's a barter system. I mean, if I just give everything free, then how will I survive? So he went chum, chum, chum inside the house, and he grabbed some grains in his little fist. Yes, in his little fist he grabbed, but because he was a little baby, by the time he reached the fruit vendor, the grains were falling from his between the fingers. So by the time he reached her, there were only 2, 3 pieces of grain. And he gave that to her. And she's looking, would we give our fruits for 3 grain pieces? No, that would be a loss, that would be bad business sense, How could we do that? What would we do with 3 pieces of, rice, 3 grains of rice? But that will not suffice, right? I mean, my stomach is not going to be full if I just eat 3 grain pieces. So the fruit vendor is looking at that little hand, and she's looking at Krishna and says, such a beautiful baby, blue color, curly hair, and beautiful ornaments, and wearing a little small dhoti, and is so beautiful, and wearing a garland of flowers. And she was mesmerized by his beauty. And she took those 3 grain pieces and she started giving him fruits. 1 apple, 1 mango. I'm just doing some guesswork, but I don't know what fruits were in that basket. But she started giving one by one by one. And he started taking as many as he could, like in his arms, in his little hands. And she was just looking at him and keep on giving from the basket. And soon basket was empty. And Krishna took all those fruits and he walked chum, 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 chum inside the house to enjoy those fruits. This lady was not sad at all that, oh, today I had no business, all my fruits are gone, what will I do, what will I eat? But then when she picked up the basket and she was going home, the basket felt very heavy. She was wondering, how can it be heavy? It was empty. Then when she brought the basket down, what do you think was in there? No. Guess, another guess. No rice. Jewels. It was full with gold, silver, diamonds, rubies, emeralds, like full. Like she could live off of that all the rest of her life. So what do we learn from that? That she surrendered everything to the Lord and she got everything back from the Lord. I remember my guru once told me, one is never a loser by surrendering to the Supreme Lord. One is never a loser. Well, what does it mean to surrender? It means that we follow his instructions as given in Srimad Bhagavatam, as given in the Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Satatam kirtayanto mam yatantascha dhrida. That with determination, we have to satatam means always chant the holy names of the Lord. And I was explaining yesterday and day before also that for this age, just like each disease has a particular medication to cure that disease, similarly, in this age, the process of self-realization is chanting the holy names of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. This is how we can get liberation. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to the scriptures, according to the essence of the Vedas, which is Srimad Bhagavatam. When Krishna was a little baby, how many of you have eaten mud? I have, especially when it's wet. Mud, when it is wet, it smells so good, right? It smells so good when, yeah? Yeah. I don't remember the taste, but I know it smells so good when it is wet. Really? But don't try next time. No. So once Krishna ate mud, and his friends, children like to go and report, complain, go and file a complaint. So friends went to Yashoda, Krishna's mother, and complained, your son has eaten mud. So there is a nice saying. Krishna says, main nahi khayo. I did not eat, but actually he meant maine hi khayo. I only ate. But that's a tricky way to put it to his mother, that he's not even lying. He's telling the truth, but confusing her. Very tricky. Yes. Smart way to, find a loophole. So, but then mother was not satisfied. She said, no, open your mouth. I want to see if there's mud inside, because all your friends are complaining. So what do you think Yashoda saw in the mouth of Krishna? Oh yes, all the three worlds, saw everything. And not only that, she saw the whole creation and she saw herself inside. Yes, exactly. That was my impression too, right? What? She is inside the mouth and she is looking in the mouth of Krishna, inside the mouth of Krishna. This is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Of course, we will hear a lot of pastimes tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 10th canto, which is 90 chapters. That means 90. It'll take us 90 hours to understand that. No, but we'll finish soon. We'll finish within 2 hours tomorrow. Oh, 90 minutes? I'm fine with that. We'll finish 90 minutes, 90 chapters tomorrow. But then we will hear a lot of pastimes of Lord Krishna about all the different demons he killed, Trinavarta, Dhenukasura, Pralambasura, Kaliya. So many different stories are there tomorrow. It's like full of pastimes of the Lord. So these are today we covered Canto 7, 8, and 9. So on day 1, we covered Canto 1, 2, and 3. Yesterday, 4, 5, and 6. And today, 7, 8, and 9. So tomorrow, we'll cover Canto 10. And day after, which will be the last day, we'll cover the last 2 cantos, 11 and 12. And then we'll have a yagna and we will conclude. So I'm going to end now. If anyone has any questions or comments, you're welcome to ask.